Alright, here we are. A little update, nothing major. I haven't touched this yet. It's a couple days past Christmas. Really haven't been doing fuck all as far as working on this piece of shit. But I'll show you the little bit of progress I have gotten. These lights are still warming up, so it's kind of fucking ugly color in here. We got the two arms that are right here and here that the hoe mounts to. I got those off. Those are over there. We cleaned off where they mount and painted them with some paint that doesn't match because it's the best type of way to paint it. Got a cool new tripod we're gonna be trying out for Christmas, so that'll help a lot with filming at least. As far as the motor, haven't done too much. I took the plate off. That was right here. It's right down there. That holds kind of the gauge cluster and all that together. I was checking to see if there's another freeze plug, and I was right. There is one in the head. There's one down here. I'm getting some weeping from some water somewhere back here when it runs for 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes. And I'm hoping it's not the head, but we'll see. So, but I'll replace these two. I got those cleaned up. I chased all the threads. There were some that are boogered up. We'll get new bolts and all these. Over here, basically the same thing. Pulled them off. I got these two new tabs welded on here and here. I tried to paint them with some yellow I had laying around, which is much brighter. Transparent, really shitty yellow. It's like one of those yellows you have to paint 50 times, 50 different layers to get it to actually not be transparent. So I kind of gave up and just hit it with some black. And then I recently bought some New Holland yellow in a can. I'm gonna try, put it in my cup gun or my HVAP gun and spray it. But basically, yeah, clean the mounting spots up because they're pretty rusted on both sides, and hit them with some rattle can. That'll stop or slow down the rust at least. What else do we have? That's about all over here. I've got, oh, that bracket also holds the battery tray on. Okay, got the dash. I got this wired up. Horn button, switch, horn button, two lights front and rear, breakers on everything. It's pretty simple wiring. Here's one of these goes to horn, one of those is to the starter, the other one's a power supply. Safety switch for neutral lockout or whatever the fuck it is. Two lights, front and rear. I'll put quick clips on them when I get them situated in the tractor. Pretty easy, much simpler than what they had over here. Here's some of the existing wiring. I'm not going to run this. I'm going to get rid of that. Most of this wiring was for the gauge cluster. It also had a alternator that required an external switch or whatever the fuck that is. So we got rid of all this. Cleaned it up quite a bit. Made it look a lot better. And I'll have some more for the new gauges when I put new gauges on it. Right now I've got some temporary. And I think I'm going to make me something out of aluminum here and then mount all the gauges in there. We got that bolt dug out of here. If you remember, I had one broke off in there. Heated it up. Now welded a nut to it, and I was able to get it out that way. Not too bad. Here's the broken pieces, and here's the other end I welded a nut to. So that worked really well. Came out no big deal. Got a new bag of hardware. Just from the getting spot to replace a lot of the shitty hardware. I couldn't find this in Rust-Oleum. I wish I could have. I know what to expect with Rust-Oleum. I've never done that paint before, so hopefully it's worth a shit. I do want to talk about these. I run these. I get them off the Amazon. I've been really happy with them. They're crimp connectors that have shrink tubing and adhesive in there. So when you shrink them with a heat gun, they glue in there really nicely, and I've had very good luck with them. They're extremely watertight. I've had 0 failures yet. And I don't know, it's just, they're really nice and they're a pain in the ass to take off, and they're kind of affordable because they're on Amazon. So this is what I use, and for stuff I care about, I love this style and this brand or whatever the hell it is. So other than that, I'm gonna set this on a tripod probably tomorrow. I'll take a video of taking apart that rear end. I think I'm gonna hit these with the yellow paint and see how that goes tonight, and then we'll go from there. All right, guys. All right, I forgot about this. I figured I'd talk about them for a while. These are connectors I've been using. It's the brand. I get them off Amazon. They're pretty affordable for wire connectors. Anyone that buys them from an electrical supply will know these things are higher in draft pussy. They're just expensive as shit. But I really like these. They come, the crimp connectors, they come in this shrink tubing. I think it's a 3 or 4-to-1 shrink tubing. And the tubing's lined with glue. And so when you heat them and shrink it real good, the glue heats up. Let's see if I can find one that's not connected to something. I had one. Where the hell did it go? Yeah, fuck it. But it kind of looks like this when they're done. They're very watertight. They're very rigid. And I've had a lot of good luck with them. I'm pretty happy with them, and they're pretty affordable. So thought I might share, may help someone else out who hates wiring. They do take a special pair of crimpers to keep from damaging the shrink tubing. But all in all, I've used them a lot. I use the eyelets the most. I don't like the fork style. I only use the fork. Come on, grab one. I only use the fork style. There we go. On stuff I have to. The eyelets are really nice because I like eyelets and I like screws because I can guarantee they're not going anywhere. Or if they do, they don't go very far. So, but that's kind of what I use for wiring. I use tinned wire and I use these. And I've had good luck. I've wired several vehicles with it. Several different farm equipment pieces. So, alright, well, I'm going to splash some paint on these arms over here. See if this yellow paint I bought's worth shit. I'll probably hit there. And then I'm actually contemplating, I think when I rebuild that rear end out there, I think I'm going to paint the damn thing while it sits out there. I think I'm just going to go ahead and spray it down. Nice thick coat. And call it good. Probably won't do too much with cleaning it. Just a nice thick coat to, I don't know, shine it up, I guess. I'd like to redo this whole tractor one day, but I'm on a time constraint. I got like 9 different projects. I really need to get this fucking thing running so I can get it done. I got a bunch of water lines and stuff that needs trenched, trees that needs pulled out. I mean, I'm going to put 200 hours on this machine as soon as I get it running. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. I'll keep you updated. All right. I thought I'd share this with y'all right quick before I call it in tonight. I got this, the Tractor Supply. It was the only New Holland color I could find. I wanted Rust-Oleum because I don't like Rust-Oleum. I think it's kind of shitty paint, but I know exactly what to expect. I know how to thin it. I know how it works. I know how it dries, blah, blah, blah. But that stuff so far, it wanted me to thin with their brand thinner, which I didn't have. I used paint thinner, took a gamble, or that's us, the paint thinner's over there. I used paint thinner, put a little bit in. It actually sprayed sprayed decent at 100%, but I wanted to make it a little better, so I thinned it out. And I'm pretty impressed. The coverage, I mean, this was painted black. These are painted black, and it covered them just fine with a single pretty thick coat, for being honest. But it covered them pretty good, so we'll see how it dries. And we'll see how it holds up through the years. I think it's funny how much faded through the years the paint has become. And then this tractor that's Caterpillar yellow, so that's already a different yellow. This is factory, so it's already 9 different yellows. So I'm hoping this paint sticks good because I may use it on other projects. So I was pretty happy with how it worked out. At least how it sprayed and how it thinned was pretty nice. So, all right, back out here, about to pull this transmission pump assembly out of here. Got this rod right here that is kept with a split pin here, and on the top it has the same split pin type deal there. But also way back on there on the fork it has a cotter pin with a regular pin in it. So I'm gonna do this pump, pull it out, and I'll pull that cotter pin out. All right, let me find a place to set y'all so you can watch. All right, it's a little overcast today, but hopefully y'all can see that. Let's see if I can get this out of here. I did order new washers because these they do have an O-ring inside them. They're a steel washer, a little O-ring in there, and I'll go ahead and replace those. All right, let's see how the fuck this one's come out of here. Let's see here. Oh, it looks like the pump comes off first. We're gonna try it that way, see if that does it. If that helps anything else, then we'll go from there. Alright, there's the pump. Wasn't too bad. I still think it could have came off with the entire assembly. Alright, let me go look at the manual again, see if I can figure out how the fuck this comes off. What I'm thinking is, someone else has been in this tractor before. They drew all over the torque converter, etc, etc, etc. I'm thinking they RTV'd this in, would be my guess. But I want to double check in the manual, make sure there's nothing, excuse me, nothing else I'm missing before I just beat the shit out of it to get the fallout. So I'll be back. Alright, we got a chunk of 2x4 and a dead blow. So I'm gonna try hitting on it. I couldn't find anything in the manual that shows that there's these bolts and then a gasket behind it, or an O-ring I think. So I'm just gonna try tapping on it for a few minutes and see if that breaks that seal loose. I can't see any other mechanical fasteners on this than that. These ones in the front, so. this pin's holding it on. Kind of at a predicament. I can't run this pin through because it'll hit the side of the case. I can't really get that to that cotter pin. I'll try digging at that cotter pin. I really need to get this rod to shift over. This tractor shifted before all this, so I don't know why it won't shift. Alright, let's try this. Alright, yeah, so that's a pin. Alright, yeah, there went one pin. This other pin looks like it may be stuck. There it is. Alright. These are kind of chewed up. Let me pick y'all up and see. So here's the pins that came out of here. A little chewed up on the one end, but I've heard these are flippable, so I just flip them around the other end. And those came out from these two holes. And see that, I don't know if you can see that or not, but you can see the little, that's what allows that plunger to move back and forth. Excuse me, fucking allergies. So let's see if that's enough to get this stupid cotter pin out and get me to getting this out of here. Okay, let's see if I can get this out. This has just been fucking. There we go. Alright, there went that pin. What a pain in the dick. Okay, yeah, that may let it loose. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna drive out this top drift pin. That'll let this fall down, or I don't know. I'm gonna drive it out and see what happens. Because basically this looks like it's pressed in there pretty good. Well, not pressed in, but it's probably got a shoulder around it, and I can't kilter it to get it out. I thought I was gonna be able to, but I was wrong. So this is exactly why I wasn't planning on doing this outside. I'm gonna run back and forth to get tools every 10 seconds is not appealing. Oh well. In it. Shit, it's not just a plug, it's needle bearings. Huh. So yeah, this shifter's got, come on GoPro, there we go. That's the needle bearings here, and there's another set on the bottom. Huh. Okay. I'll have to clean those out, they're crusty as fuck. Alright, now maybe this is the part where it comes out and it weighs 100 pounds and it crushes both my fingers. gonna take these fucking inputs and outputs off the sides over here and see if that's tied in there somehow. Tube in there. It's connected somehow. Okay. Alright, so that's probably what was keeping it from coming out. There's a tube in this one. I'll take this top one out. There's probably a tube in there. Well, that makes more sense. Just like that. Yeah, you can see there's an O-ring in there too. I'll have to see if I can replace that. Same thing. Some sort of spring relief. Looks like another gasket that went crusty. I'll have to see if I can get that. Well, and see now, put y'all back down here. Really good way to shoot this, plus it's dark today. So now I bet it comes right out. Or not. Yeah, there it goes. Alright, there's the pump housing assembly, or whatever the fuck they call it. Set this up over here. These are gonna be, this should be the clutches. That's a filter. Let's see if I can get that out. I think it just taps out. Breaker bar. These impacts do not like extensions. It seems like no matter what impact I put it on, as soon as you put it on extension, it just kills the torque. And that one's pretty good in there. Oh, fuck me. Let's try this. It's not having that. Good God. Alright, we're gonna try the electric impact first, the 1/2 inch, see if she can do it. Yeah, that's not too bad. One more, come on, baby. Ah, okay. Well, that's where that socket lives now. There we go. Yep, there we go. much easier than fucking with breaker bars. So, long one goes basically through the thicker part. Let's see, these are both the same. Yeah, so these are both the same lengths. They go through the thick ones. Help me remember all this. Oof, look at all that rust. So, these are the clutch packs in here. And that goes in the manual side transmission. I'm not gonna fuck with the manual side because there's nothing wrong with it. It was stuck, it wasn't shifting, but when I pulled the cover off, I cleaned it out, no big deal. I will pull the cover off again and clean it real good. Just like I'm gonna clean this, I'm gonna take that. Let's see if I can get you guys off of here. So, I'm gonna take that filter off in there. Oh, that's a filter right down there. I'll clean all this. Let's see, best I can. I'll probably power wash this out one more time. But so this side tube right here that has that tube, it connects right here. And I'll check the chart, but it looks like it's just a mechanical. There's no O-ring in there. I think it may need an O-ring, but other than that, this looks pretty good. There's some rust here, which worries me, but this tractor sat for 10 years. So I'm gonna take all this to the bench. I'll clear a spot. I probably won't bust into this today. I'm gonna start cleaning. I'm gonna get this shaft the rest of the way off. I'll get this needle bearing kit out of here, hopefully. I'm gonna clean everything up real good. I'm electroplating a lot of this stuff that I can't get to. Let me take you over there, I'll show you. So I'm painting everything I can. I'm not doing a full rebuild or a full remodel of this thing. I'm not gonna paint the whole tractor. I'm not gonna make it perfect, but what I do touch, I would like to make right. So got a little electroplating tank. The solution's kind of grody because it sat for quite a while, but this does work pretty good. I've done it for some other stuff, and it doesn't come out perfect right off of here because I don't clean it real well. But if I polish it up after the fact, it polishes out pretty nice. Nothing show quality that I would like to show, but it's great for shit like this where I can put it in the tractor. I know it's not gonna rust. I can't paint that rod because it's a clearance fit. You know, it has bearings and shit has to go in, but I can electroplate it. That won't mess with the clearances, at least not enough for me to care. So, all right, well, there's how to take this thing apart. Hopefully it helps somebody. But you have to take this side off. Now, this other one that goes on top, this top one, you don't have to. After I got it out, there's no port for it. It's just this one. So, all right, guys. I think the next video will be me tearing apart all this transmission shit and figuring out what exactly went bad. I'm actually thinking the clutches are probably good. I'm betting money it had something to do with these, and maybe the pumps wore out, but I don't see any indications of a bad pump. But like I said, everything I can replace in this is getting replaced, cleaned, gone through, put it back together. All right, so we pulled, greasy fingers all over my camera, pulled the filter out. There's a hex screw right here that holds the housing on, and this thing looks pretty shitty. It's got, looks like stainless steel mesh inside. I don't know if you guys can see that. It looks like this is a stainless steel filter, which is good because a paper filter this far in will be a nightmare. But look at all this shit on here. I mean, that is a lot. It looks like paint from inside the casing has come off. All sorts of shit in here. So I want to try to clean this up. I didn't buy another one. Actually, I didn't know it was, I thought it was a screen. I didn't know it was a stainless steel filter like this. So I'm gonna try to clean this. If I'm unsuccessful, I'll see if I can buy another one. But There's definitely some stuff going on, so I'm glad we're getting this cleaned up because it needs to be cleaned. So I'll get in here with some gas or some diesel and some brush or two and clean it best I can and drain all of it out. That's pretty surprising, which may have contributed to why it was having problems. It may have ran that pump dry. So all right,